Attention, Star Cadets! Stand by for action! Captain Paxar says prepare to travel time and soar through space while facing the worst villains of the past and the future. Stand by for Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
Greetings, Star Cadets! I, Captain Paxar, am speaking to you from the secret headquarters of the Interdimensional Peace Force. Today's mission is as follows. Daring GBI agent Flash Gordon races against time to prevent destruction on a planetary scale. Stand by for action as Flash Gordon faces the Witch of Neptune.
Of a new planet, which we of the galaxy contemplate colonizing, are almost always studies of the atmosphere and of the temperature. Most are poisonous atmospheres, either steaming hot or impossibly cold, depending upon the planet's relative position to the sun. In the past 500 years, our scientists have conquered the atmospheres and the cold of the outer planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. By constructing tremendous atmospheric converters and heating units that have permitted Earth people to colonize these rich worlds. One of the principal scouting assignments of the Galaxy Bureau of Investigation is to check constantly the atmosphere and temperature, as well as to test certain secret equipment in the units which only GBI personnel are authorized to know.
Well, that finishes my test for Pluto. There's some traces of methane getting back into the oxygen.
Dangerous amount?
Not yet, but it could become dangerous. We'd better order a converter repair team to check up on the secret GBI equipment.
It's time for the check-in with Commander Richard. Don, tell him.
Right.
Gordon in Skyflash 2 calling GBI. Gordon in Skyflash 2 calling GBI.
Answering Gordon in Skyflash 2. Come in.
Let me talk to Commander Richard.
Right away, Captain Gordon. Flash Gordon calling Commander Richard.
Answer, Commander Richard.
Commander Richard.
Just a few inches more, Dr. Zarko. A few inches or a million miles. As long as I will it, you cannot move.
That's funny. There's no answer in Richard's office.
Well, that's not possible. There's always someone there, 24 hours a day.
Captain Gordon?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Gentlemen, I am Zidorine.
The Mad Witch of Neptune.
The Mad Witch of Neptune. That is what they called me before I was batched.
How did you get in here? Into my office. Into the GBI.
As you said, Commander, I am a witch. Witches can go any place. Through walls, millions of miles through space. All little wave of their wand.
Well, give me Dr. Zarko.
There's no answer down here.
Try Commander Richard's office again. Either you are an apparition projected into our minds and are not present in substance at all, or...
Or, Dr. Zarkov, how else would I enter into the inner sanctum of GBI without opening even a door? One moment. I'm not here. Next moment, I am. Oh, no, you don't.
Commander, what do you think to call it? Commander Richards.
How does your scientific mind explain this?
An apparition, as I said. Or you have discovered the secret of matter duplication and projection.
A secret known only to authorized GBI personnel, like the secret of the units that control the atmosphere converters on Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto.
What about them? What do you know about the secret units?
The keys, gentlemen, the keys.
Keys? What are you talking about?
If my information is correct, each of you carries a very interesting little key. Together, put to proper use, these keys will cause the explosion of the remote control destruction unit of the atmosphere converter. Very interesting indeed.
Destruction unit? You must be out of your mind. Why would we install a destruction unit in a machine designed to manufacture a life-giving atmosphere?
There's a constant threat to each planet's government in case any one of them should go to war against a neighboring planet. You can destroy the aggressor's civilization by the turn of your two keys.
Even if this were so, what does it have to do with you?
You did remember I was banished from Neptune. Do you also remember I swore I would have my revenge?
I don't get it. 10 minutes and GBI Communications still hasn't called us back.
They haven't located Commander Richards or Dr. Zarkov. I have a feeling something's happened.
Inside of GBI headquarters? Come on, Dale. If there's one place in the entire galaxy that's safe, it's GBI headquarters.
I know, but it's also a fact that Commander Richards' office is the nerve center of the galaxy. If he isn't there, someone must be. Someone must be there 24 hours a day.
I mean that every living thing on Neptune shall die.
If such a destruction unit existed, I'll just bet you'd carry out that threat. Fortunately for Neptune, there is no such unit. Of course, we have no keys. My hand is being forced into my pocket.
Your hands, Commander Richards and Dr. Zarkov. You hold the keys to my revenge on Neptune.
Give me a chance to intercede for you. I'll get you a full pardon. Neptune will allow you to return.
Allow me to return. I shall return, all right, but only the ghosts of those who fancied me will be left to grieve.
Flash Gordon and Sky Flash 2 calling GBI. Flash Gordon and Sky Flash 2 calling GBI. Come in. What's the score on Commander Richards and Dr. Zarkov?
No answer. Either office.
Look, that's impossible. Someone's got to be in Richards' office.
I know, sir. I've sent messages to each office. As soon as they report back, I'll call you.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
We'll be coming in for a landing on Neptune in 10 minutes. Contact us at GBI headquarters there.
Okay, Deputy Gordon.
Okay, so it looks strange. But I tell you, nothing could have happened to them inside of GBI headquarters.
I hope you're right. We're entering Neptune's landing channel.
Okay, cut the landing speed.
Right.
Nothing, no one can resist my will. Neptunians millions in a few seconds, every one of you will breathe the poisonous methane gas. And you will know that I, Sci-fi, have had my revenge. Put in the keys. I command you. Now, turn them.
GBI Earth. Come in, GBI Earth. Calling GBI Earth. Come in, GBI Earth.
Have you been able to contact GBI Earth?
I can't, Gordon. I can't make contact.
Explosion must have knocked down all the communication lines.
Our teleradio transmitters are about a half a mile away from the converters. They must have been blown up, too.
You know what this means?
Yeah, for some reason, Starkov and Commander Richards detonated the control farm.
But their only authority to do that can come from the Galactic Council. And then only if Neptune has attacked another planet.
But I don't understand. 5 minutes ago, we were talking to GBI and not a word was said about trouble with Neptune.
What are we going to do?
Have you been able to contact them yet?
No, we're absolutely cut off from all other planets.
Tell the people not to get panicking to stay in their homes. In the meantime, alert the military and the police to watch out for all attempts to escape from this planet.
It's going to be difficult, Flash. Everybody will be trying to get away.
Well, all the spaceports will be watched by the military and the police. No one should be able to, unless we all can.
That's right.
We've got to get back to Skyflash and contact GBI. We've got to find out what's going on.
There's only enough oxygen on Neptune to last the population for about 48 hours.
There aren't enough spaceships in the entire galaxy to evacuate a planet in that time. Well, come on, we've got a lot of work to do.
At ease, Star Cadets! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment! Stand by for action, Star Cadets! We now return to Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
Alert! Alert all military and police posts on Neptune. Alert! All military and police posts on Neptune. Alert!
Alert. All spaceships are to be grounded. Allow no one to leave Neptune. No one is to leave Neptune. Arrest anyone trying to escape. Repeat, arrest anyone trying to escape.
Flash Gordon and Sky Flash 2 calling GBI. Flash Gordon and Sky Flash 2 calling GBI. Emergency. This is an emergency. Come in. Listen carefully. We've landed on Neptune. Right after we set down, the methane to oxygen converters were blown up. Wait. Have any reports of Neptune attacking another planet been reported to GBI? That's all I wanted to know. For the next 48 hours, Dale Arden and I will stay here on Neptune and try to get the secret GBI auxiliary converter hooked in the central system.
I'll talk to Mr. Richards as soon as we locate him.
You'll probably find him and Dr. Zarkov in converter detonation vault 3.
You have served me well, gentlemen.
You'll pay for this, Irene. I swear by all I hold sacred, you'll pay for this. Millions of lives will pay you revenge. Yes.
It is not I who will pay for those millions of lives, gentlemen, but you. Yes, you.
Sir, you don't think that they... Why would they do it? It must have been someone else.
Only they have the keys that close the detonation circuit.
In a few seconds I will vanish as I appeared. But your minds will not remember that I was ever here. I am leaving you now. Forget. Forget. Forget.
Zarkov, we're in the converted demolition vault. How did we get here?
Welcome back, Zyderine. It would seem that all went as planned.
To the last details, ProStar. Exactly as we planned it together all these years of exile. See them. Can you see them? Those miserable people of Neptune. Gasping for air. Beautiful. Beautiful. Is it not, ProStar?
Revenge is beautiful, Zyderine, and the wound is as deep as ours.
Let us see what is happening on Neptune.
And these are the facts, as straight as I can give them to you, people of Neptune. We have about 48 hours to get the
Chief Security Scout of the GBI, Flash Gordon.
Every available engineer and workman here on Neptune will be diverting the pipelines to the auxiliary converter emplacement. With your help, we can do it. Stay in your home. Don't exert yourself. Save your strength and your breath. Breathing in the last few hours will become difficult, but do not become panicky. Together we can do it. And remember, do not try to escape from Neptune. Even if every available spaceship in the galaxy were here, not 1/100th part of the population could be taken out. If one of us dies, all of us will. If one lives, we'll all live. And now let's go to work.
Why didn't you tell me there was auxiliary equipment on Neptune?
I didn't know it. It's the first I've heard of it.
It was your job to know. I'm sending you to Neptune. Find the auxiliary equipment and destroy it before it can be used.
There it is, Dale. The auxiliary converter. This is the Galactic Council placed it over 200 years ago in its secret vault.
How wise they were. How lucky for us. Oh, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, getting it in working order before the pipelines reach here.
While I was telecasting to the people of Neptune, did you check on the pumping system?
Yes. Stoner, the chief engineer, says he has about enough standby pumps to take care of about 60% of the oxygen line.
60%?
Oh, but don't worry. The people in the areas that are not being covered are being evacuated to covered areas.
Okay, but we don't have much time. They'll start popping those feed lines into those entries over there before we know it.
Flash, do you think we really can make it in time?
We've got to. Save your breath, we'll need it.
You must destroy the auxiliary equipment. Revenge, Rosa. We must have our revenge. Go on, Rosa. You cannot stop now. Find them. Find them.
Connected. Get ready to turn the machine on.
Here. I'm ready.
Turn it on, Dale.
Well done, Star Cadets! The first phase of our mission was a rousing success! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment!
Welcome back, Star Cadets. I, Captain Paxar, will now brief you on the second phase of our mission. Commander Buzz Corry of the Space Patrol must combat a military madman who plans to steal a deadly superweapon. Stand by for action as the Space Patrol tries to secure the deadly Sunbeam.
Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corry, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Brought to you by the checkerboard super cereals, wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot roastin'.
Stand by for exciting action on Space Patrol in just 1 moment.
Hi, gang. Commander Corry reporting from the experimental lab. Ever see a portable power generator? Here's one. To generate power, it needs fuel, so let's put some in. Press the control button and see what happens. Sounds pretty weak, doesn't it? Could be the fuel I used. So this time, let's try super fuel. Listen to that power now. Supercharging does it. And gang, when you roll out of bed in the mornings, you're like a generator, too. You need fuel. Haven't had any for about 12 hours. But listen, don't settle for ordinary fuel. Get supercharged like I do with a good breakfast. Eat the super cereals and the checkerboard packages. And now, come in, Jack Nars.
Hi, gang. Here are 2 of the super checkerboard cereals, bite-sized rice checks and wheat checks. Yes, modern bite-sized design for super easy eating. No wonder Space Patrollers get a charge out of checks. This is rice checks, bite-sized shredded rice, triple toasted. And here's wheat checks, bite-sized shredded wheat, baked crisper than a cracker. Super power in every bite. Remember, gang, pulling up to your breakfast table is just like pulling into a filling station. So get supercharged like your commander said. Pick up your cereal bowl and say,
"Stir up, Mom. Wheat checks. Stir up, Mom. Rice checks."
In a rugged, mountainous section of Mars, a few miles from the capital city of Canale, stands an ancient building of another era. From the outside, it seems a dark, deserted, castle-like structure, haunted by shadows of the past. But on the inside, working in a fully equipped laboratory, an old man dedicates his talents to the good of humanity.
I'm sorry, Professor.
So am I. Marshal Crane built this laboratory for the good of humanity. He hired me to break down the sun's rays to isolate beneficial elements. And all I've come across is this ray that destroys things like this.
We can try again.
Yes, I suppose we can. It's just that if I don't have some success soon, or if I don't come up with something better than this deadly iota ray, what's Marshal Crane going to say?
I wouldn't worry about that, Professor.
Oh, Marshal Crane, I didn't know you were here.
I wasn't, really. Still having trouble with the iota ray.
Yes, I can't seem to isolate it.
I was just wondering, Professor.
Yes?
What effect would this...
Careful.
Well, what effect would this ray have on a person?
It'll have the same effect as it had on that plant that was sitting over there.
Well, did you use a full charge?
No, just a slight charge. I was only testing it.
Well, according to our calculations, with the full force of the sun focused behind it, it could go right through that wall and out into space.
Into space? Then its effect, as I understand it, could go from one planet to another.
It could destroy large cities at that rate.
Well, that's just it, Marshal. You see, the professor's been terribly depressed because all of his work results in the further development of the destructive qualities of the ray.
Oh, the iota ray could become a treacherous weapon in the wrong hands.
The wrong hands, Professor? That depends on how you look at it.
Well, what are you driving at, Marshal?
Don't you know?
You a respected member of the United Planet Security Council? What would you want with a weapon like that?
I'm afraid you wouldn't understand, Professor.
But, Marshal, what of your plans to develop beneficial rays?
I'll destroy it.
No, you won't. Don't fight me, Professor. You have a share in my plan.
I'll have no part of treason.
Treason will be any act against me when I'm the government, Professor. You better think of that.
No, I'll destroy it first.
I've just been thinking of what you were saying, Marshal.
Yes?
I can show you how to operate the machine. After all, I wasn't Professor Kress's laboratory assistant for nothing.
Well, you're a smart girl, Reed. I knew I could depend on you. I'll make it worth your while.
What about him? What are you going to do with him?
Well, for now, I'll put him where he can't cause any trouble. And then we'll get set to bargain with the Security Council on our own terms.
Finale, Mars. Calling Space Patrol Headquarters, Terra. Finale, Mars. Calling Space Patrol Headquarters, Terra. How long before we land on Terra, Commander?
Have you forgotten? We have a student astrogator on this trip.
Oh, that's right. And what's your studied opinion, Cadet?
In exactly 49 minutes and 32 seconds, we'll be landing on Terra.
Good. We'll have time to eat before we land.
Did you say eat?
Mm-hmm.
Space Patrol Headquarters, Terra. Terra calling Commander Corry aboard Terra 5.
Corry here, go ahead.
Commander, we have a call coming in from Mars. It sounds urgent.
Who is it?
Says her name is Rita Kovan. She insists on talking to you at once.
I'll take it. Put the call through relay, please.
One moment, sir.
Rita Companion, I never heard of her. I wonder what she was.
You may go ahead.
Commander Corry?
Speaking, go ahead.
Commander, please listen carefully. There isn't much time.
What's the trouble?
My name is Rita Kovan. I'm a laboratory assistant to Professor Kress. He's the chief scientist in Marshal Crane's private experimental laboratory.
Marshal Crane, Security Council representative from Mars?
Yes, Commander, but
Treason?
It's true. He's just made Professor Crest prisoner and he attacked him. You see, we've accidentally discovered a deadly ray, the Iota ray, and Marshal Crane is planning on using it to bargain with the United Planets.
Treason is a serious charge, Miss Covan. Are you absolutely sure?
Absolutely sure, Commander. Oh, you must believe me. You've got to stop him.
We're changing course for Mars now. Be there about 2000.
It's the old mansion outside Canali.
Yes, I know the place. Well, Miss Covan, don't mention this to anyone. We'll make it look like we were on Mars and just dropping in for a social call.
Yes, Commander, but please hurry.
We're on full rockets. Corry out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy, get on the astroscope.
Yes.
Get a reading on Mars.
Yes, sir. Correct elevation, 2 degrees high, sir.
Correct, 2 degrees high. Check.
Check, sir.
You'll do exactly as I tell you. Do you understand?
Yes.
I still can't understand Marshal Crane frowning treason.
Rocket, you'd think he'd be content to be a high-ranking member of the Security Council.
Well, we won't need that, Happy. If Marshal Crane is up to something, we'll have a better chance of finding out what it is if we're not armed. No, we're coming in close. We'll land with a repeller ray. No sense in tipping him off.
Yeah, we might try to hide the evidence.
If there is any evidence.
When we land, you stay in the ship, Tonga. Half an hour, contact Rita. Stand by repeller ray.
Standing by, sir.
Hit it.
At ease, Star Cadets! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment! Stand by for action, Star Cadets! We now return to Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
Commander Corry,
Yes.
I'm Rita Covan.
This is my cadet, Happy.
How do you do, ma'am?
I'm so ashamed, Commander,
Ashamed?
that I could have been so wrong about Marshal Crane. It was all a mistake.
Mistake? What about Professor Cress?
Professor Crest. Yes, well, you see, the professor had made a trip into Canali. I didn't know about it. When I couldn't find him, I just assumed that something had happened to him. He never goes anywhere without telling me, you see.
Yes, I see.
Can you ever forgive me, Commander, for having made you make this trip for nothing?
Certainly, Miss Covan. I'm only glad that your suspicions are unfounded.
Yeah, the commander was just saying that he hated to think a trusted member of the Security Council could be guilty of treason.
Commander, if you were to leave now, Marshal would never even know that you'd stopped. I'm sure he didn't hear you land, and it would save me a lot of embarrassment.
I understand. Let's go, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, Miss Covan.
Well, we are very happy, Rita, to save their lives. Don't be so anxious to end this existence, Rita. You've work to do.
Tell me what's going on pretty soon.
I didn't have time to, Tonga. The commander told me to get back to the ship as soon as possible and blast off, so I did.
But why? You were both going to meet the girl.
Well, we did, but when we got there, she gave us some phony story about being mistaken, and it didn't match the first story at all.
What do you mean?
Well, when she called the commander, she said that the professor had been attacked by the marshal, remember?
Go on.
Well, when we got there, she said the professor had gone to Canale, and she just assumed that something was wrong.
And you don't assume a person was attacked on flimsy evidence like that.
That's for sure.
I wonder what made her change her mind.
Marshal Crane, who else? Anyway, that's what the commander thought. So he ducked down behind some rocks and told me to blast off so they'd think we both left.
And he's down there all alone.
Don't worry about the commander. He can take care of himself.
Patrol. And after I get the beam focused on the target, what do I do? Tell me.
No.
Tell me, what do I do?
Just throw the switch, that's all. Just throw the switch.
Well, now we'll see if you've given me the proper information.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to enlist the services of Professor Kress.
Professor Kress?
Yes, I'm sure you'll be delighted to assist me in my first experiment.
But I've already shown you how to work the machine. What more do you want?
I need a target, Rita. A human target.
Why do you keep looking at your watch?
The commander said he'd call me exactly 30 minutes after I left him.
Well?
It's been 35 minutes already.
I'm sorry, Commander Corry. I didn't expect...
forget it, Professor. Forget it. At least I found you. Now I know what to expect.
Yeah.
Seems that's the only window.
Yes, it is, but it's so high I couldn't reach it.
Not even with those packing cases?
Oh, they've got heavy equipment bolted inside. They weigh a ton.
Well, I can boost you up.
Well, then how'll you get out?
I'm not ready to leave just yet.
Oh, well, then I'll stay with you.
No, I'd rather you left. But my ship should be landing very soon. Look, hide outside when you see the ship. Go aboard. I'll call my cadet.
All right, if you think that's best, Commander.
Put your foot in my hand.
All right. Freeze, Corry. One wrong move and the old man gets it.
This time, I'm not going to leave this behind.
And that's not all. You're not leaving me behind either. Not this time.
Okay, let's go.
Pretty clever, Corry, staying behind when your ship blasted off. Well, you're just in time for the big show. My friend Rita has been showing me how to operate a very unusual machine. Rita, you didn't.
I'm sorry, Professor. He forced me.
You're inhuman. I got...
Put him on the table, Corry.
Oh, but that's where the ray goes. Oh.
Stay right where we are, Corry.
Smoke and rockets talking. There's no sign of anybody.
I don't like it, Happy, and it's too quiet.
Mr. Marshal, freeze, reach. I imagine you have a gun on me, Cadet.
Correction. We have 2 guns on you. And if you don't drop Miss Covan, we're going to drop you.
I suggest instead that you drop your guns. If you shoot me, I'll pull this trigger with my last act, and you know what it'll do at this close range.
Oh, you're trying to kid. You couldn't pull that trigger if you were paralyzed.
Reflex action might do it. Have to be careful.
Drop your guns. Both of you. All right. Now get around here. Come on. Let's go. Now we widen the beam a little bit to include all of you. No! Let that be a lesson to all of you. Now either you stand there and take it, or I shoot you first and then give you the iota ray. Either way, you lose. I just had a thought, Crane. It's your last thought, Corry. If I go to the side, I'll be out of range, won't I? Don't be a fool, Corry. I told you what I'd do. I said I'd shoot first. You have to turn around and get your gun. Get the professor out of there!
Smoking rockets, Commander. That was close. Kept waiting for him to make a wrong move. Thought he never would. I'm glad he made the move. I was afraid to. How are they, Tommy?
We can take him to medical science center in plenty of time to counteract the charge.
Good. What about this thing, Commander? What is it? How does it work?
Well, according to Professor Kress, it breaks down and stores radiation from the sun and focuses it into a beam.
You know, all this trouble from just a little sunbeam.
A deadly sunbeam, Happy. Now, our only problem is how to destroy it.
Yeah, but how?
There's your answer, Happy. Like most evil things, it destroyed itself.
Great job, Star Cadets! The captain will debrief you in a moment when Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour returns.
Mission accomplished, Star Cadets. You've all served with valor and honor. Flash Gordon, the Space Patrol, and I, Captain Paxar of the Interdimensional Peace Force, salute you. You may now stand down until we meet again at the appointed time coordinates, when we will again undertake a daring mission through time, space, and alternate dimensions. Until then, Star Cadets, always remember, keep the peace.